draw to a smaller room at the side, and this room was referred to as void. The idea is you are there while the big table is voided. And then in this room, small cakes, patisserie was served, which itself was structured as a void. It was usually an imitation of the real thing, but as kind of a empty stuff, almost as coffee without caffeine, without substance. For example, there you, in the big banquet hall, you got real pheasant, here or pork, here you got just a out of thin layer of sugar model of pork with void in the middle. What was also interesting was how this space of void was referred to as the space of subjectivity. The idea is that in the big banquet hall, it was official toast, you had to play your public role. The moment you withdrew into the void, you were there, you entered into this relaxed exchange of rumors, impressions, confessions, opinions, the entire scope from the trivial to the most intimate. So we have here the first opposition between substance, the substantial real meal, and the void of appearance of subjectivity. You know Hegel's motto, according to which we should conceive the absolute not only as substance but also as subject. I'm tempted to say originally this meant not only meat and bread but also good cakes and so on, like space of subjectivity. Now, even more, then I went a step further. But isn't it that the most famous Heideggerian example also involves the void, the Greek vase in das Ding, the vase as primordial thing, which is again just an encircled void where you put things which you then give as a sacrificial gift to God and so on. My idea was that we should do here something along the lines of what Adorno and Horkheimer do in their dialectic of enlightenment. You know, where they like to condense in one wild metaphor the entire development of the West, like from the primordial magic manipulation of primitive tribes to our technological manipulation. I think the best metaphor would be for us, like something like the Greeks, this vase, and then out you get the plastic toy or something like this. Like my point is that the old Greek vase was their Kinder Surprise. That is to say that with all the, I'm well aware of the big shift from original, authentic, religious object to the triviality of Kinder Surprise egg, but let's not forget that the structure is that of the void throughout. Even a step further we should make here. This tension inscribed into the notion of commodity, between what the commodity gives and the more that it is supposed to give. Today especially, I claim, that this tension has more and more the tension between pleasure and health, in the sense that what you get at the surface is the pleasure, you can enjoy fat and so on and so on. What you get then in the middle as the real thing is this 3 points, but it's really healthy. For example, one can even imagine this Kinder Surprise egg as that instead of a plastic toy, just a large pill, you know, like first enjoyment, then pill. Isn't there a well-known contemporary novel, I forgot its title, where I think the hero drinks champagne, that this is his diet, champagne and Xanax. And sometimes he even, I think, dissolves Xanax, so that, you know, you get at the same time pleasure and the countermeasure, as it were, to pleasure. And while in California, I'm not ashamed to admit, I had an almost metaphysical experience of this paradoxical dimension of commodity. I had to buy a laxative, and they had one in the form, believe it or not, of chocolate. So, no, you got then this paradoxical injunction. You are still constipated, eat more chocolate, more of this chocolate. I think this is the tension in it, in the commodity. And I think that this tension is arguably Christian in its structure. In what sense? Again, my reference, I cannot do without it, to Gilbert Keith Chesterton, who emphasized how the opposition between paganism and Christianity is not as simple as it may appear. It's not that in paganism you are allowed to joyfully assert life, to enjoy it, while Christianity imposes a somber order of guilt and renunciation. It's on the contrary, the pagan stance, which is deeply melancholic. Even if it preaches a pleasurable life, it is always in the mode of enjoy it while it lasts, because In the end, there is always death and decay. But according to Chesterton, the message of Christianity is the opposite one. There is infinite joy beneath the deceptive surface of guilt and renunciation. A very nice quote from Chesterton's Orthodoxy. The outer ring of Christianity is a rigid guard of ethical abnegations and professional priests. But inside that inhuman guard, you will find the old human life, dancing like children, drinking wine like men. For, a nice quote, for Christianity is the only frame for pagan freedom.